board. And let's start sitting up. We'll start back in our seated position on our pillows. I don't know why I always feel compelled to show you my pillow, but there it is. I'm going to sit right on it. I love this pillow. It's just the right, when you get a pillow that's just the right pillow for sitting, it's just like, oh, it's perfect. So your hips are just a little bit above your knees. Feels good to sit with intention, doesn't it? I've been sitting all morning, but it's good to sit with intention. Legs are separate from each other. We feel our connection to the earth as always. Just that helps us to feel a little bit grounded, like we're not, frantic, like we tend to be sometimes. At least I speak for myself. Like, this is my experience. I'm frantic a lot. So just that intentional grounding, feel yourself sitting heavy on the earth. The earth is holding you, right? Here's the earth. And it's just like, oh, here, sit here and relax for a moment. That's what the earth is always saying, I think. And let's lengthen up through the crown of the head so we get taller through the spine, but we keep those beautiful, the beautiful curves of the spine, intentional curves of the spine. And then we lift up through the heart center, open up here, you drop the shoulders away and draw the back of the neck back so the ears rest or float over your shoulders. And then close your eyes if you're comfortable with your eyes closed. Let your arms be heavy. Let your jaw be soft, your face be soft and quiet. And feel yourself sitting. Feel yourself sitting and feel all the space that you just created because you put your attention and intention on creating that space. Feel the spaciousness in your body. And let's invite the breath into that spaciousness. So we draw the breath in through the nostrils, all the way down the bottom of the lungs, the diaphragm is dropping, the belly is expanding. It's this beautiful dance that happens in our body when we draw the breath in. And then we release the breath and the diaphragm will come to rest. And then the next breath flows in and the whole thing happens again in this beautiful rhythm that we have experienced our entire life. And sometimes we've paid attention to it. And sometimes, most of the time, we haven't. But now we have the opportunity to pay attention. And we feel that beautiful breath flowing in and out. And it always reminds me of that rhythm of water moving into the shore and out again. And into the shore and out again, that rhythm that we find in so many places in nature. We have that within us as well. So pay attention to that and we'll breathe quietly for the next few moments. You feel your mind slipping into thought, which it so easily does. Bring it back to the breath. Bring it back to that rhythm. Follow the breath as if you're watching its entire journey through your body. And then let's create an intention today for our practice. So what is your intention for being here? What is your intention for your practice today? Could be different every day. It could be the same thing every day. And let's breathe that in and we'll let that go. And then let's start just with our fingers today. Let's start moving our fingers through the space in front of you. I always like to say play the piano, but it might be something else for you. Move your thumbs. Notice all those little joints, so important, right, for everything that we do. We'll circle the wrists around with a nice soft hand. And circle the other way. You can keep moving your fingers. And then let's relax our arms again. We're going to lift and roll one shoulder towards the ear and back. Lift and roll the other shoulder towards the ear and back. And let's alternate a few times. So lift and roll. So you've got one shoulder, and then you got the other shoulder. They each got a mind of their own, right? They don't have to go together all the time. Up and back, up and back. And then let's clasp our hands behind us and just lift your hands a little bit away from your torso. Keep your tail dropping down. We're not arching. We're just giving ourselves a little stretch across the front of the body. And then we're going to release the hands, let them float to the floor. Inhale them all the way up. And exhale them all the way down. Let your arms feel a little bit longer every time you lift them. So inhaling, and you can almost reach the side walls here. And exhale, so create some space in the joints of your arms and shoulders. And let's do it again. Inhale. Up we go, and exhale, float it down. And then with our fingertips still on the floor, we're going to isolate this part of the body. So the rib cage, well, the ribs start way up high, but let's isolate this lower part of the rib cage. And we're going to let the rib cage rock side to side. So we're going to move into the spine just a little bit, feel our way in there. How are we doing? Back and forth. And then let's come to the middle, and we'll go a little bit forward and a little bit back. And this is just a baby cat-cow, just a little. So we did side to side. Now we're seeing how we feel forward and back. Just feeling it out, noticing a little bit of space we can create. And then let's stop here. Relax your shoulders. Did your shoulders get tense doing that? Let's circle the nose. So we're circling the head, moving the neck. And then we'll circle the other way. And then let's come back to the center. We're going to slide the right arm out. Left arm is going to lift up. And let's just do a nice big lateral bend here. Reaching out over your head, grounding through your left sitting bone. Now we've got some space. Woo! Big space on the left side. Take a big breath into it. And then let's come back to where we were. And we'll put our hands on the floor. And then we're going to let the left hand slide out, and the right one will lift up. And let your arm come right out over your head. So we have this nice stretch through our armpit too. Whoever thinks about stretching their armpit? Not much. We don't even like to talk about our armpits, right? Well, we're giving our armpit a nice big stretch here. Grounding down into the right sitting bone. And then let's release, and we'll come all the way back up. Find your length again. Let's change the cross of the legs. If you need to straighten them out and shake them a little, do that. And we're going to circle around from here. And we'll move, finally moving into the low back and the hips a little bit, just through our warm-ups here. I love that little tour through the body that we do when we're doing warm-ups. To just say hi to everybody, right? And I love you. If you read my newsletter, I love you, low back. I love you, hips. All the love, love, love to give to our bodies. Let's circle the other direction. And then all the way back up. Let's straighten out our legs. We haven't said hi to our ankles yet. So let's circle our ankles around. Your ankles may have been talking from sitting like that, but now they get to be free, and we'll circle the other way. And then let's see if we can wiggle our toes a little bit. Those important little toes. Mine aren't that wiggly this early in the morning, I guess. Let's scrunch them up, like scrunch up your toes. Make them work a little bit. And then let's relax them. And then we're going to bend the knees. Let's move off of our pillows, blankets, whatever we're sitting on right now. And we'll do a little drop. Little drop, easy drop. The next time they're over to the right side, we're going to stay there. Slide the left leg back so your right foot is resting on your left thigh or near, approximately. And then you're on the top of your left foot, or for those of you who have different knees from the rest of us, you're on the big toe side. This is animal relaxation pose where we're headed. It's a forward fold over the legs. So we're going to hinge from the hip creases like we always do in forward folds. Land on your hands or your forearms. Some of you will get to your forehead or your handy dandy block. And then because it's called animal relaxation pose, we're going to relax like our favorite animal, and they know how to relax. So let yourself go. Completely free yourself from any tension you're holding in your body. And let's breathe for a few breaths. The next time you breathe in, let's lift up. This is kind of like a little baby pigeon. If you think about the position that pigeon is, right? That's just that. It's kind of like a little baby pigeon. Now let's bring our feet out again, and we'll let our knees drop side to side. So this is taking us into our hips a little bit, maybe a lot of it for some of you. The next time your knees are over to the left side, we'll stop there. Left foot on the right thigh or thereabouts. Come to the top of your foot if your knee says that's better. And we're folding over again. Don't force any of this. Let your practice be your practice, the beauty of Zoom. So you open up the door and you let your ego walk out the door. So nobody's watching you. So you go to the place that's best for you. There's no one to compare yourself with. So relax and let's take a few breaths. The next time you breathe in, let's lift up. We're going to come to down dog. So I know, Sharon, you don't like to come to your hands and knees, but get to down dog because that's where we're headed. The rest of us, hands a little forward of shoulders and up we come. So hips are up, knees are a little bit soft. Pay attention to your hands for a moment.
Spread your fingers and let some weight drop into your thumb. So your thumb and your index finger are helping you here. We're going to do a little walk. Just notice how you're feeling here. The first time I do down dog, I always feel like I'm working really hard. So we'll come back to it. Just notice how you're feeling. And then we're going to notice how we feel a little bit later after we've done a little bit more moving. Let's walk our feet forward to our hands. We'll slide our hands back towards our feet. We're standing in Uttanasana, the standing forward fold. Let your head hang. The soft knees are helping your spine stay a little bit neutral. I think you can see that in my spine. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. Let your arms be heavy. I've got my fingertips on the floor. Some of you might have your palms on the floor. We've got our neck hanging there, our head hanging from our neck, I guess is a better way of saying that. And then let's bend our knees a little bit so we can keep our spine long. And then slowly stand. All the way up we come. Chin stays connected to the chest. After we've taken a breath, we'll lift up the head. And here we are. Find your way into mountain pose. We'll do our 3 or 4 half sun salutations. The thing to keep your awareness on here is the softness through your knees and the 4 corners of your feet. Drop your tail, lift your heart, bring your hands to your heart center. Let's inhale and open. Like you're scooping up all kinds of energy here. And exhale, fold it over. We're coming part way up and taking a breath, lengthening the spine. You might feel your hamstrings a little. Exhale, fold. Now remember the knees and the feet. We're coming up, knees and feet all the way up. And exhale your hands to your heart. All right, let's do it again. Big scoop of air, energy, light, life force, however you want to think about it. Exhale and fold. Part way up, inhaling, exhaling, folding over, and then up we come with a big in-breath. Take it all in and bring it all to your heart. Let's do it again. Inhale. Oh, there they go. Check your knees. Exhale, fold. I always start to straighten my legs a little bit too much. Changes your posture. Come part way up. Exhale. Reach up. Scoop it up and bring it to your heart. Let's do one more. We'll be quiet. Check your knees. Let's release our arms. Whenever I think of balancing, or whenever I think of hips, the balance I think of is knee to chest pose. So let's do that right now. Let's stand on our right leg, shift to your left big toe, and float your left leg up. Now, this is the place where you round towards your knee, but then you're going to bring your knee up so you can stand up with your ears over your shoulders. Find your gaze point that's straight ahead of you. Bring the knee in, keep the heart lifted, breathing. And then let's release. All right, find your mountain pose. Jiggle and wiggle if you need to. Let's let go of whatever just happened and move to the other side. So stand on your left foot. Your right leg is going to lift up, take the knee, and then bring it to you so you can lift up your heart, let your light shine. Draw your shoulders back, ears back, breathing. And then let's release. Let's take our feet a little wide. We'll put our hands on our hips. Let's do a circle around. We say hi to the low back again, which is, I hate to say it, always and forever, seemingly a problem spot for most people because of the way we walk upright, but also because we could have stronger cores, right? We could strengthen the core a little bit more to support the spine. Let's circle the other way. And we could do less lifting with our arms too far in front of us. I think that's what's happening this time of the year. All those pots and mums and bales of hay. And then we'll come up and step it together. Leave your right hand where it is. The left arm is going to lift up. Take a breath. Let's do another lateral bend. Soften up your knees. Engage your core. Inhale to the middle. Float your hand down. Exhale. Left hand to the hip. Inhale, right arm up. And exhale. This slows the breath down, doesn't it? When we follow the breath, let's do it again. Inhale to the middle. Exhale. Hand to the hip. Inhale, reach it up. Soften your knees. Exhale. Over we go. And inhale. Exhale, float your arm down. Very intentional here, right? Inhale and exhale. Now let's bring the hand to center. We're going to leave it there. The other one is going to join it. So both of our arms are overhead. Hold on to something imaginary, like a beach ball or the sun. Of course, not the hot, hot, hot sun, but some sort of ball of energy. And we're going to leave our arms there. Relax your shoulders, rise up to the balls of your feet. Palm tree pose or a variation of it. Find your gaze point and breathe. Isn't it ironic that one of the most challenging balancing postures we have is one where we have both of our feet on the ground? So let's breathe into it. Relax your face. Take another breath and let it go. Let's do one more balancing posture. Now, I'm going to show you how to do this as a balancing posture. I'll show you how to do it as a non-balancing posture to focus on the stretch because we're going to move to our hips. So if you don't feel like balancing, have a block nearby. You'll see why. Right in front there, I'm going to put it. We're going to shift to the right foot. We're going to cross the left leg over the right above the knee, and then we'll bend the right knee like we're going into chair pose. Sharon, this might not be for you, right? This might not feel great in your knees. Let your weight shift to your heel. You can look forward or you can look down. We're trying to get a stretch for the left leg. If you bend it more, you'll feel more of a stretch. Here's how you take the balance out of it. You hold on to your block. You can concentrate on the stretch. Breathe. And then let's stand up and release. That's hard, standing up from there. You gotta have some nice strong legs to do that. Let's shift over to the left foot. You know where we're going. If this doesn't feel good to you, maybe just a little baby chair pose so that you can engage the quadriceps, right? Because that's what we're doing in this balancing posture. So we're going to shift over to the left foot now. Right leg crosses over. We'll bring our hands to the lower leg. Just that movement alone makes it challenging. Shift the weight to your heel, look forward or down. If you're taking the balance out of it, you're going to, or most of the balance out of it, I should say, you're going to take hold of your block. We breathe into the right hip. That's where we feel the stretch. Remember, your weight is in your heel, the heel of your left foot. Relax your shoulders, neck, and face. And then let's stand up and release and shake. So there's 3 good balancing postures for you this morning. Let's do something different. Let's take a wide step and we'll move into our inner thighs a little bit. So we'll take a wide step, but we're going to keep our feet parallel to each other. The danger here, it's not a danger, but what you will find that you do is roll to the outer edges of your feet. So bring your awareness to the 4 corners of your feet. So press into the big toe ball. Your feet are still parallel. They're not turning out. We're not doing goddess pose. Thank goodness, right? We're going to do something nicer than that. We're going to hinge from the hip creases. I'm keeping my heart lifted. I haven't changed my spine at all. My hands are coming to the floor. If that's too far for you, you put your hands on a block. You can also bend your knees a lot if you want to. Keep your left hand under your face. The right arm is going to lift up and overhead, and you can either leave your arm here or wrap it to your back. That's kind of a nice feeling. Takes you into your chest and your shoulder a little bit. Let's breathe. Check the 4 corners of your feet again. Look up if you can. And then let's release the arm if it's tucked, and we'll unwind on an in-breath. Nice hamstrings there, right? Feel your hamstrings, feel your inner thighs. Leave your right hand under your face this time, and the left arm is lifting up and overhead. Take a look up. Breathe, enjoy the stretch. Maybe you're tucking your arm. That's a bigger stretch, I think, for my shoulder. And then the arm releases and all the way back we go. Let's turn our fingers around and stretch our forearms. Again, your knees can be bent a lot or your hands can be on a block. Let your head hang here and let's start to walk our hands back behind us. So through your legs, our head gets a little closer to the floor. It's hanging there. And now we've moved into our back and hips a little bit more. Big breaths here. Let's walk our hands back out. We'll turn them around. We're going to walk ourselves into down dog with our legs wide. Let's see what that feels like. So walk yourself into your down dog with your legs really wide. So you're looking back through your legs. Your legs still hold a lot of the weight here, don't they? Kind of a fun exercise. And then we're going to walk the feet together, heel toe, and you'll be in your regular old downward facing dog. How does it feel differently than it did before? Maybe you feel a little stronger, a little more open, a little more easily bearing weight through your hands, arms, and shoulders. Maybe it's worse. I don't know. It's better for me. Let's do our walking again. That's even better for me. I think something's happening here. And then we're going to come down on our knees and slide to our belly. Hello, belly. Well, you realize when you're trying to avoid your knees how hard it is to avoid your knees, don't you? I'm telling you. We use this body without awareness so much of the time that when we actually put our awareness on something, it's mind-boggling. To me anyway. Let's bring our arms to a parallel position. We'll practice Sphinx pose right now. So we're going to drop the shoulders down and lengthen the neck out of the shoulders. Draw your ears back. You're gazing out over your kingdom here. You're that big lion combo dragon thing, whatever it is, gazing out over your property. So you're proud and you're lifted and you've got your heart shining forward. And we're taking some breaths here. And then let's lower down a little bit and slide our elbows back. So now your hands are right under your shoulders or just to the outside of your shoulders. And we're going to lift up our arms. And then let's lift up our legs. So the whole back side of the body is working hard here. If you want to bring your arms out to T for a different experience, feel free. If you want to bring your arms here, like you're the flying nun or whatever there, remember that show? And then some of you might like to try this, like Superman. See how hard Superman had to work to keep his arms in that position. Let's breathe. And then let's release and turn your head to one side and release your buttocks and your low back. We'll bend our knees, let the legs drop side to side. And then let's lower the legs. We're going to come back to that Sphinx position and let the left leg come out beside us. So I'm avoiding the full frog today because we're trying to avoid our knees. Hopefully you can access this sort of halfway to frog pose to get into our hip flexors. So if it's too much work for you to stay up on your forearms, you could come down. Just let your leg come a little higher maybe, so that you're getting a nice stretch through your hip flexors, the front of the thigh. Let's loosen the jaw and draw the shoulders down. And then we'll go to the other side. So let's draw the left leg under us again, and the right leg is going to come out. I'm going to turn around here. So we've got our right leg out there like a frog, forearms parallel, or you've got your head on your arms. If this is your shoulders might be starting to get a little tired here, holding yourself upright. You decide where you need to be. Number one priority here is our hip flexor. Soft jaw, I keep clenching. How about you? Let's breathe. And then let's release. How about trying something silly? I haven't done this for a really long time. We're going to stretch the arms out. This is for our core. And we're going to log roll to our back. Now you're on your back. Let's log roll back to your stomach. Try to use your core, not your legs. Let's do it again. When's the last time you did a log roll? When you were 5? Let's roll again. We'll roll to our backs. Isn't that fun? And then we're going to roll back to our stomachs. All right. Hands under the shoulders. Let's push back to child's pose since we were just behaving like children. And relax. Breathe into your beautiful back, into your beautiful lumbar spine and your thoracic spine and your ribs and your shoulders and your neck. And then let's walk our hands over to and off the right side of the mat. So another little lateral bend here. Drop your hips over to the left. if knees are a problem for you, you could be doing this sitting upright, right? All we're doing is a lateral bend here. So sit and bend to the side. Let's walk our hands over through the middle of the mat and off the left side. Let your hips rock a little bit to the right. And then we're coming back to the middle, and we're going to come up and have a seat. All right. Legs are crossed, but not stacked. Let's fold over the legs. We'll come back to the hips again. There's stages and steps here. Where do you land? And we'll release this stretch. Take whichever leg is in front. And we're going to give it a hug and a rock. This is a stretch for our piriformis muscle. That strap that goes across your buttocks that allows you to swing your legs when you're walking. That's kind of a cool thing. Think about it. If you didn't have that little muscle there. Walk like Frankenstein. He probably had a really tight piriformis. Now let's release this leg that you're holding inside. So the other one, it moves to the front and over we go. Big breaths. Let's lift up. Let's take the front leg. We'll give it a hug. Either your hands or your elbows are hugging or wherever you can get. We don't want to lose our posture. We don't want to have our, I'm sitting at my computer posture. We want to have our, I'm sitting on my yoga mat posture. And I'm going to try to remember to sit like this when I'm in front of my computer the next time. And then let's release. And you can do that by lifting your computer up, putting it on a box. So you don't have to look down at it, but you can look across at it. There's a little computer hack. Let's take a wide stance. Some of you are going to sit on your pillow again, or your blanket. We're going right down to the middle, hinging from the hip creases to the forward fold with wide legs. Your legs don't have to be this wide. They could be bent. Okay, you decide where you're going. And maybe you're only going this far. And that is a beautiful place to be. There's lots of other places to go on your journey. Which one is best for you? Breathe and release. Breathe and release. Let's do a little walk over towards the right leg. So you're either just in front of it or just inside of it, or you've got one hand on either side and you're lengthening. You're not rounding, you're lengthening like you're going to take a jump, like whoosh, right off your toes. And then we're going to creep through the middle, creep through the middle and over to the left leg. Same thing. Remember, in forward fold, your knees can always be bent. That takes the pressure off the hamstrings. So you're either framing the leg or you're in front of it somewhere. And we're going to whoosh right off the end of our foot there, right off our toes. And back to the center we come. Let's sit upright, bring the legs together, give them a tap, 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 tap. And then let's come to our backs. Your way to your back. Let's release the legs either straight or bent, but let's concentrate on how it feels to relax the back. Feel the muscles that support your spine just going, thank you. Ah. And then we'll bend the left leg, cross the right leg over it, just on the thigh there, and just so that you still have that space in your legs, in between your legs, we're going to lift up the left leg and put the right hand in the space. So it's coming to the other side, and we're going to let the left and right hands join. This is what we're doing instead of pigeon pose today. Stretching the hip. Relax the shoulders back to the earth. And then let's release the leg, cross the leg all the way over. So right leg is touching now, right thigh, left thigh, they're touching, there's no space. Arms are going to slide out to T, and we'll release the knees to the left. Over they go. Keep your right shoulder on the floor if you can. And then release any tension you're holding in your hips. No holding, just letting go. And back through the middle we come. Let's let our knees drop over to the right just a little ways. It's a littler movement, smaller movement. And then back to the middle, let's uncross. Straighten your pelvis if you need to. And then let's cross the left leg over the right. We've got that space. We're going to put the left hand in it. You can see it better on this side. Here's my arm coming out. And then we're wrapping around the right shin. Some of you might use a strap here to get around your shin. Make your arms a little longer. Relax your shoulders back to the earth. Relax your jaw. Ooh. And then let's release. Put your right foot down, cross your left leg all the way over. So there's no space. We'll let the arms slide out to T, and over the legs go to the right. Wherever they land is fine. Notice that my left shoulder did not leave the floor. Now we'll bring the knees through the middle and still crossed, hopefully over to the left. And then knees coming to the middle. We're going to uncross, straighten the pelvis. Ooh. And then let's do happy baby since we've got a hip class going on here. Happy baby. Holding our feet or our toes, big toes. If you've never held onto your big toe, it's kind of an interesting feeling. Little rock maybe, or you're still letting the arms hang from your feet. And then we're going to release that stretch, draw your knees together, wrap your arms around, give yourself a hug, give your whole body a hug. Thank you, body. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for everything you just did, all the ways you bent, and all the muscle contractions, and all the relaxation, and all of the miracles of chemistry that happened while we were practicing yoga. And then when you are ready, let's move to relaxation, whatever that looks like for you. And let's be here. If you're in Shavasana, for some of you who may be new, legs are straight, toes are dropping out. If your toes are pointed towards the ceiling, you're probably using your hip muscles a little bit or your leg muscles. So relax your toes and your feet. Hands are typically beside you with the palms up because there's a lot of sensation on your palms. And if they're down, then you've got more stimulation that's going to your brain. So palms up is typically how we practice Shavasana. For those of you with low back issues, constructive rest is usually a better choice. Feet wide to the edges of your mat and knees dropping together like a teepee. So they're coming together so they hold each other and you don't have to work so hard. The arms are, again, out, palms up, less sensation. I've seen people roll to their sides for relaxation, and that's totally fine. I've seen people sit up. So whatever it is that you want to do, it's your choice, but get to a place where you can just let go, where there's nothing you're holding, there's no pain or tension. You can invite a softness. Invite a softness into your body, a quietness into your mind, a feeling of contentment in your soul, contentment and connection. And let the earth hold you, just like we talked about at the beginning. Let the earth hold you and release into it like someone you really love to hug. Release into the earth. The earth is hugging you. Let go. The breath deepens again and feel the rhythm of breath moving through your body. That flow of breath in and out. Let the fingers and toes move again. Let your head turn from side to side. And then let's bend our knees one at a time, and we'll roll to the right side, come to fetal position, and just be here in this moment, feeling what it's like to be here in between these practices, on the mat, off the mat. Notice how you feel. The energy in your body, the relaxation, the quiet, maybe a little more clear, whatever word that comes up for you. Just notice what it is. Know that it's possible. And let's invite gratitude for our bodies and our breath and our practice, all of those things, this beautiful autumn day and another opportunity to be together. And then pushing yourself up, using your hand so the left hand comes to the floor. As soon as you can get your right hand underneath you, use that hand too, and all the way up. And here we are. Let's bring our hands together in front of the heart center as we close our practice together. One last chance to notice the breath, to remember the breath, to honor yourself for who you are, just as you are, just as you were intended to be. We honor each other in the same way. We honor all people and all the creatures of the earth. We honor this earth. Feel gratitude for the many gifts that we enjoy in abundance every day. We feel our connection to each other, to all people, to all beings, and to all things on earth. And let's share our voices in the sound of our practice, in the sound of Om. Taking a deep breath together. Om. May peace, joy, love, compassion, and gratitude fill your heart today and every day to overflowing. Namaste. And thank you, everybody, for joining me this Saturday morning. I trust my inner wisdom. As I go about my daily affairs, I listen to my own guidance. My intuition is always on my side. I trust it to be there at all times. I am safe. Nice. All right. That's a good one to think about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice weekend.
Thank
Have
you,
a-
Leslie.
Thank you, Leslie.
You're welcome. My pleasure.